Welcome to Toritos After Hours Podcast, Episode 2. ECC.
What's up, everybody?
Torito After Hours Podcast, escena 1, toma 1, fecha 07/08 del 2026.
Yo sigo siendo el mismo, yo no he cambiado. Tengo lo mío sin tener que aparentar, siempre ando.
Hey guys, welcome. Today my guest is Edwin. Edwin, welcome to Torito After Hours Podcast. It's a pleasure to have you here today. How are you doing today?
Good. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
How was your day today?
It was good. Productive. Very hot.
It's so hot outside today. Insane.
Very humid too. That makes it work worse.
So, all right. So I have a question for you. Thanks for coming in. And my first question to you is, who is Edwin outside of La Cantina?
Wait, they edit that, right?
Yeah.
Outside Cantina, I believe Edwin is a family man. Everybody thinks that I'm always here at Cantina, but that's not necessarily true. I always post on social media, but what I really am is a family man. Try to be there for my 3 beautiful daughters. I'll be there for them, and ultimately be a provider and be that person for them in their life.
Which is one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on. Is a lot of people always have this concept of people that are in the nightlife industry. They don't get to know us outside of a nightlife industry. So that's why I'm so happy you're here today. And so people get to know you more. Hopefully all your Cantina fans, hopefully all your Cantina customers, they get to know who Edwin is outside of this world. So let's get us a little bit started with that. And I know, how did Edwin Lagunas get into promoting, and everything that by you getting into promoting, it was gonna lead you to somehow one day own your own bar, which is La Cantina?
Absolutely not. Never had that. That was never the master plan. I went to high school. I went to my guidance counselor. You know how they always ask, what do you do when you get older? I didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew it was some kind of business, but I never pictured myself in this kind of business. It all started when I was in college. I was DJing at our soccer house parties with an iPad. No, what was it before?
The iPod. You mean the iPod?
Yeah,
the little square iPod.
Yes, I was DJing.
Some of you might be too young to know what the square iPod was.
So it was with that. So I just knew what to play, and then after that I got an opportunity to DJ at a local bar. We had 2 streets full of bars, Madison Street, college bars. And then the owner asked me, why do you guys go over there and not here? We're like, we hate the music over there, but we're broke college kids. They would do Thursday nights, $1 beers, $5 shots. So we always went there, but hated the music. So the owner told us, what if we gave you safe specials and let you play your own music? So then one of my best friends told me about the opportunity, and that's when I learned what investment was. I asked my dad to let me borrow money to get my own DJ controller. Bought it, started DJing, would pack it, and people wouldn't, I'll be honest, I wasn't the best DJ. Skills were not that great, but something that I learned, that I had a good following. I knew how to throw a party. So then I came back here, started DJing at the Muck.
A lot of people know, they probably don't know, you were actually a DJ before you became a promoter. So the way you got into the industry was during college, and it was not even promoting. It was more like trying out to be a DJ, and that's how you started in college, which led to the next thing, coming back home to a local bar and being a DJ at a local bar.
I think that motivated me was, at the end of the night, I saw the bar owner counting all the money, and I was just like, you guys made all that money tonight? And they're like, thanks to you. I'm like, you guys only gave me a little bit of that? They gave me $150, and I think they made $8,000 or something like that. That gave me motivation. I'm like, I think I want to do that. So then my dad, he had the restaurant, and this was just space, and I threw a party. He came in, he's like, do you know all these people? I'm like, no. He's like, so, I'm like, you just tell Joaquin people that there's a party happening, they'll show up. Then he told me, if I make this into a bar, you want to run it? I was like, yes.
So you went from DJing at your local college weekday bar to coming to the Muck, and then that's when the motivation was the money, and then your dad had the availability and the space for you to start your own. And I'm sure you probably didn't have an idea of what was coming or what was gonna turn out to be. And you just took the chance, and just based off you're looking at what they made that night and you're following, because you're a well-known guy and people just followed you. So you're like, the light bulb went off and you were like, oh, let me just do this for me?
At first, I was still working at Baxter Credit Union, so me desvelaba and this, but it was just a little hobby. Then I decided to make it a full time, and that's when I invested all my time. And I guess that was Bombo, and then now we have Calle. Calle over there, and then Cantina over here.
So before we go ahead and people get to know you a little bit more about the present, I want people to get to know you more about before you became Edwin from La Cantina. So what was your childhood like? What's something that you think taught you to make you be the man you are today?
I learned a lot from my parents. When I was younger, they worked a lot. I think
that's just typical in every Mexican family, I believe, or Hispanic family. I don't want to be just one nation.
No, it's just like a Latin thing. Like
a Latin Hispanic.
They want to give their kids the best. They always tell you, "I want to give you a better life than I had."
Correct. And which is the same boat that I'm on, you're on,
yes,
and anybody is on. We just want the best for our kids.
That was a life, and it was kind of bittersweet because I'll be honest, I see other stories like, oh, I had it rough. I didn't have it rough. My parents did work a lot, but they also scolded me with soccer shoes and all that. And it was bitter because they worked so much that they were absent a lot of my childhood life. Going to soccer games, I would see all the parents except mine. We missed out on a lot of family parties because they were always working. Then,
and the reason they were working, sorry to cut you off, was because your family's always been in the restaurant industry.
Yes.
And the restaurant industry is so time consuming if you wanted to work out, demanding.
Yeah.
So that's how it just got so demanding that they couldn't attend any of your activities.
And when I was younger, it sucked. It took a big toll. But then that's what I realized now that I'm older. They told me, you don't understand it now, but when you get older, you will thank us. I do thank them for giving me that opportunity to be where I'm at right now. But something I do want to take away is be able to manage my time. I want to work, but also want to be there for my kids, my daughters, because believe it or not, my daughters are 3, 4, and sometimes the hardest part is when they tell me when I have to leave, why do you always leave us? And
that just hits different.
Very.
And it kind of, I think it would remind you of what your parents used to tell you. Like, you won't get it right now, but eventually when your daughters grow up and they get older and they see everything you've built, they'll probably understand why dad was gone so many nights, so many weekends. You miss out on a lot, but I think they'll be able to understand why you're missing out on a lot eventually, just how you understood why your parents missed out on a lot of your activities. So a lot of people know you as La Cantina owner, right? But what are you most proud of outside of work?
Right now, to be honest, and this will be the first time that I announce it on your podcast, is I just built a home. We just moved into a house, and that is my proudest thing right now. Now, hearing those words from my daughters telling me, why do you always leave us? It's hard, but the sacrifices are worth it because when I get home, seeing them sleep in their own room or driving home at times, not after work, but after running errands and getting home and seeing my kids playing in the backyard and in the driveway and just loving, they love our new home, and it makes everything so worth it. And it took a lot of sacrifices, but at the end of the day, just seeing him smile is...
Before we move on, congratulations. That's a big accomplishment in life. Not a lot of people can say, I built my own home. And I think that's something that eventually your daughters, once they grow up and they see this home, they'll be able to realize my dad built this home based on all his nights being gone, all his weekends not being with us. So that's very exciting for you. Congratulations again on that. I know that's got to be very exciting. How are you when you get home? Do you sometimes just sit at home by yourself and just be like, I built this? What's that feeling like?
Yeah, 100%, yes. A lot of people have hit me up, why haven't you, like my friends, like this, because I always Snapchat TVs, the White Sox game thing, and they see a different background. And a lot of people are confused, but I don't really give answers because you know how it is. Malas vibras, so I keep that away from social media. Pero también, there's times where I do sit there and I'm just like, feels good. I don't go golfing as much right now because I just like to lay in my couch and watch TV and enjoy the house. Before I was at my parents', I just wanted to get out of the freaking house. Golf, let's go right now. But now I've gone like 2 weeks and even my girl's like, are you okay? It's warm out and you're not golfing. I'm just
Yo creo que felicidades otra vez.
Yes.
One more thing that I wanted to know and I want people to know about you is, what do you think is something that changed your life forever?
Well, two things. On a personal level,
Being a dad?
that has changed a lot. You look at life a lot different. You don't take the same risks that you used to take before. Before I used to bungee jump, always wanted to skydive, not anymore. You just look, and when you see, for example, the Scoop the Loop video on Friday, when I saw that car reversing, the first thing that came to mind is like, well, what if there was kids?
Correct.
What if I was thinking about going, thank God I didn't go. What if that were my kids? Right away, you just think your perspective changes a lot. So that's one thing. Being a father has made me mature and look at life differently and be more responsible. And the professional aspect is this opening a bar, running this bar when it was Bombo, came with a big...
Wait, let me stop you there. A lot of people that know you now as Edwin La Cantina, let's just touch this subject for a couple of seconds. A lot of people don't know what La Bombo was. Mm-hmm. Just so that you guys know what La Bombo was the original, you can say, cantina. Back in the days when Edwin started, just so that you guys know, La Bombo was the original in the same spot, the same place. And now take over and let us know what was that moment for you.
So something that changed my life was that I was able to open Bombo, and it was a huge success, but it also came with a big, what's it called? You know what happened.
Yeah.
It's like bittersweet. When I celebrate Bombo's anniversary, it comes with like a hit because I was able to succeed in one thing, but I lost one of the biggest things in my life, which was my cousin Nelson. I threw a party that day, and unfortunately, he got in a car accident and he passed away that night. So when I celebrate the anniversary, it also hits home because I gained something, but I lost something even bigger. So it's always bittersweet.
So it's always a bittersweet moment for you. When you, if I recall, that was the grand opening of La Bombo, the first time that it ever was open to be like a bar, correct?
It was September 21st, I believe, around those dates. Yeah, in September, like that anniversary. Like, I don't know if it was the exact same day, but I think it was because I remember it was that day actually.
And to kind of that question, does it ever make you feel any type that you ever think maybe if I didn't throw that party, stuff wouldn't have happened? Or how did you handle that as a person? How did you emotionally handle that situation?
Yeah, all the time. I don't think I passed away. I didn't know how to handle it. That was my big first death. Like on social media, I just didn't know how to handle it. Some people thought I was doing it for attention, but I never been through something like that. So I always blame myself for it. And then I just thought like, it was like a different kind of breed, man. He was like kind, well-liked, and I knew that he wouldn't want me to beat myself up for it. If anything, instead of me like down, he would be very, very proud of what I've been able to accomplish.
So how do you think was like the main thing you did to help you get over that hump of feeling guilty and being able to move on and continue with your success?
Push forward.
Just push forward?
Make it the best I can. He was like a perfectionist. Like he wanted to do it right. He was OCD. He was a clean freak.
Yes.
So part of me, like, I learned a lot from him. If you're gonna do something, you gotta do it right. And I've learned that from my dad. So you get my dad's mind and Nelson, like that's the person I have become. And I don't want to say like worth it, but if I was able to have a big loss, like I want to have a huge win for myself, my family, but also for him, so he could be proud of me.
And if I recall, I know Bombo days, there was a drink, and to this day, it still continues to be alive. And all your bars you've owned, any other bars you've helped promote, etc., I know that you always bring that drink with you as a tribute to him. Today on my podcast, I want to be able to make that tribute to him because he was also a good friend of mine, and I think we all kind of from his loss. So today, as Edwin being his cousin and me and him being one of my good friends as well, we're gonna bring that honor to him. We're gonna introduce the drink Nelly just in case so that people don't know what it was. And now next time you guys come here, maybe you can try it out and ask for the Nelly. So we're gonna take a second and we're gonna make the drink and we'll let you know what's on the drink and we'll cheer to him and then we'll continue.
So the Nelly special consists of Remy 1738, Red Bull, lime, and the secret ingredients, some tajin on top of when you put everything on there.
All right, Edwin. So what I want you to do is I want you to walk us through on how you prepare the Nelly special, and if you have any reason why you do certain things first, or if there's a reason why you think this should go first, just let it know. So let's make this Nelly special. How do you start the Nelly special?
Everybody makes it differently. I don't know why, but I like putting the lime on the ice.
So we're gonna put lime on the ice. Is there a reason why you like the lime on the ice, or just is it a personal preference?
Yeah, it's in my head that once you put in the ice, it just all over the drink. But that's just me. Everybody makes it different.
Do you leave the in there?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So leave the lime in there. What's next?
I put again tahini.
So
on the ice.
For you guys that want to try this drink, just letting you guys know that it has tahini. Tahini can be a little spicy. So let's go ahead and put some of this on there. What's
and then the main thing, the Remy.
Okay. Wow, that's a lot of Remy, man. I mean, get us drunk, we're not gonna be able to finish a podcast. Hold on, I'm looking like a rookie here. Like I don't know how to pour a drink. How many bartenders gonna make fun of us for not knowing how to pour drinks, and we're in the industry? All right, what's next?
Then the Red Bull.
Right. And I think the Red Bull just depends how strong you like it. If you're gonna make it at home.
Yep. So then mine's a little bit darker, but that's all right.
All right, so after the red,
and I like to finish it off with some more tahini.
Some more tahini. If you don't like spicy, don't put this much tahini on it. But this is the Nelly special.
And then we forgot to say that we have the tahini on the rim with chamoy. I don't like drinking it with the straw because of the whole purpose of drinking it with the tahini.
With the rim of the and the chamoy. Okay.
And then we could just stir it up to mix all the
stir it up. All right, and then
I haven't had one of these in a while.
Right. So then we pitch the straw, buy straw. We don't need you. And then it's bottoms up, right?
Salud.
Salud. Nelly special. I haven't had one in a while.
It tastes like the tahini and the lime. The mixture with the ice. I think it's just in my head, but it tastes so much better.
Honestly, I haven't had one in a long time. I have forgotten how it tastes, but this is real good. So you guys got to try this. You guys got to try the Nelly special when you come to Cantina. All right? Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Edwin,
my way I treat people, and también my reputation, because you know reputation is very important. And negocios te puede quitar porque mis papás, and that's one thing that I want to keep people to remember me as. And es algo que yo he tratado años de tener and build it. It's something that I'm pretty sure you can familiar when throwing events. It's hard to, when you're new at this, to like get people to show up to you, and kind of like hits home when like building a is very important. And I don't stamp my logo on anything because it's hard to build it, to just stamp it on anything. One bad event could take away years of building reputation. So that's one thing that I would me puede quitar, y también, again, que trato bien a la gente. Okay.
El logo de la cantina, o tu marca ya que todo el mundo te conoce por la cantina, ¿a dónde lo ponen? Porque pueden decir como que es muy creído, es muy presumido o esto, pero uno que ha estado en el mundo.
Usted sepa que that I cared about my business, and that I cared about the community, la comunidad. Algo que sí me dio miedo fui a hablar durante el tiempo de ICE.
Sí.
One of my biggest fears is public speaking. So the person that hit me up knew that if she told me that what I was going to do was talk in front of a press conference, no lo iba a hacer. So she kind of like tricked me. Public speaking, I saw Telemundo, I saw Fox, I saw Univision, every news channel was there that lo hice.
Ahorita que estás tocando ese tema un poco, ¿qué es lo que eres eso? Porque yo
ya lo que es worth it es cuando le estaba diciendo a mi hija que te parecía y me dio las gracias. Así que one of the best feelings que yo tengo. No es fundraiser, pero es así compras. No fue mi idea, fue más de Michelle, Sandra. Y pues sí, it hits home, porque the way they were treating us, nosotros los mexicanos solamente venimos, pero alzar la voz. Y también cuando
de encontrar, shout out to Michelle, shout out to Sandra por haber organizado eso.
They're the real MVP.
They're the real MVPs. Entonces, mira, ahorita más en un nivel más personal, ahora te veo humano que también ha hablado por todo lo que por todo lo que pasa uno en las noches. Yo sé que ahorita ya estás con tus niñas, pero ¿alguna vez tú piensas que el éxito te ha hecho sentir como que estás solo? Like, have you ever felt the success made you lonely at some point?
Yes. Sometimes it's because there comes to a point where you feel used. You feel like just hitting you up because of your success or because they need something. Obviously not everybody, but it happened to me when Bumble closed down. When Bumble was happening, my phone was ringing, text. But when they shut down, it slowly started to die down. And I was like, but I'm glad it happened. It gave me thicker skin. Not everything so personal. It's just part of you have your acquaintances, you have your friends, and you have, at the end of the day, your family. You should not take that personally. It's just part of the.
I think sometimes people do take it personally, but I think that sometimes people have to understand it's not personal. It's just sometimes either we are too busy during the night, or sometimes we actually do realize, like you said, it took Bumble to close down for you to realize a lot of things, and it made you now be better. I'm sure you learned the pros and cons, and it made you become a better bar owner, a better manager, a better person. And a lot of people do that personally. And that's just how it works now. Right. Now that we talked about all the sadness and stuff, let's cheer to happy moments. To my next question is, when was the last time that you can say you were genuinely happy?
Honestly, right now, I think June, July, but June was probably one of the happiest months of my life because, again, was able to move to my new home, and literally days after, I went to the World Cup to watch Mexico at the inauguration.
Oh, that's right, you were at the home opener.
Yes.
That's a big accomplishment. Not a lot of people get to do that, man.
So I was able to fulfill two dreams in a matter of days.
And from what I recall too, so you're saying June was a good month. I know me just by looking at social media and stuff, business was booming in June too. It looks like Cantina in June was kind of doing good. So June was overall like a sweep. You could it's a personal life. What's the other one that we could say was a sweep for you in June?
Just the World Cup happening and Mexico making history, the World Cup was insane.
Isn't it crazy how after Mexico, and I feel like after Mexico and Colombia lost, kind of like in the town, kind of forgot about the world. I don't see no snaps, no nothing posting about as much as World Cup.
Watch parties.
Like watch parties. But it was like watch parties everywhere. Like I don't even think Reese's and she's even playing any watch parties now that those teams lost.
That was like house game. And just Mexico doing what they were doing was just the cherry on top. Because normally when they go to the World Cup, we see the team that they take and we're just like, they ain't doing shit with that. This year, it felt a hope. And one thing that was my favorite thing about it is that, for example, today's game, England-Argentina was a sick game. They were physical, but Argentina just did what they did. Obviously, it's not the same height, but it was still a good game, and it makes me happy that people that did it, they would say not a real sport, are the ones enjoying it even more.
I know I read a line that said that the Mexico versus England game was watched in the U.S. I think it was like something crazy, like 65 million people in the U.S. watched, and then the U.S. versus Belgium game was like at 40 million. Mm-hmm. And then I think if you include the millions in Mexico that watched England versus Mexico, I think the total was something crazy like 105 million people watched the England versus Mexico, which makes me proud as a Mexican, saying that our national team is literally not only being watched by Mexicans, I think it was literally being watched by a lot of other countries that probably were not in the World Cup, that are Latin countries.
I think the whole world, soccer is the most watched sport in the world. Just that game alone, I would see athletes tweeting about it. Patrick Mahomes, LeBron, and I'm just like, damn, like.
And that takes me to where soccer is the only sport in the world that unites the whole world. And I know a lot of people sometimes knock soccer, but it's crazy how one sport literally unites the whole world. Like the whole world at one point.
For Americans, they still think the World Series, Super Bowl is the best thing, but it's not.
It's not, and to me, I found too coming to here to Cantina to watch the watch parties and seeing a lot of people that probably didn't even know what soccer was, but they were here supporting the national team. They were here to a moment to see history, and that I hope people now really see that soccer is not just like a Latin sport or something like that, and soccer is a big sport.
100%. Yeah, I agree. It was still depressing that Mexico coulda, woulda, shoulda, but
it's in the right path. I think for the first time we can say we're headed in the right path.
100%. And time to start that checking account and deposit every Monday for 2030 World Cup.
But I heard it's gonna be like in 3 or in 5 countries.
So yeah, it'll be inauguration's gonna be Argentina 1 game, Uruguay has 1 game, and there's another
Paraguay, I think it was.
I believe so, 1 game, and then it shifts to Spain, Morocco, and Portugal.
So it's gonna be in 6 countries. 6 countries. The World Cup in 2030.
Yes, it's just 1 game. The first in South America, 1 game, and then the whole World Cup is gonna be played in Europe.
It's gonna be interesting to see how that works out.
Spain. Imagine seeing you're a Real Madrid fan, right?
Yeah.
Mexico playing at Bernabeu.
Oh, that would be crazy. Yeah. So that would be crazy.
Start saving.
That's true. Because we going. And to the next question is, a lot of people know you, they know me. We do have a lot of friends in common, but for all the new people or for the people watching the podcast, probably the question is, we go way back. And it's how a lot of people probably ask themselves, how did we meet? And the reason I'm touching this question and the subject is because we're touching the subject of how we met. If my memory recalls incorrectly, or you correct me if I'm wrong, I think I met you when you were probably like 14 years old playing soccer, and I think my dad at that time had a soccer team, and I kind of like saw you play, and then a couple of your cousins played with my dad on his team, and I think we invited you to play with us when you were like a 14-year-old kid that like were barely starting to play. And not to knock you or anything because you were a good player, but I remember when you were 14, you were a scary cat. You were a scary ass cat to play at 14. And the reason I say that is because I remember when I was 14 and my dad put me to play, I never was really scared, but I remember you would tell me straight up like that you were scared.
Yeah. No, that's 100% true. What's our age gap?
I think it's like 5 or 6.
Yeah. Because people are probably like, how they know like other when they're like a bit older. I'm not saying because it's even that much, but when I was 14, 15, it does seem like a big gap.
Oh,
that
of
was
course.
in high school and you were already.
I was out of school. Yeah.
You were in college, so yeah, like right now it seems so bad, but back 14-year-old and a 20-year-old playing soccer with the adults. And yeah, like honestly, like I was a late developer, like scared that, and then I remember one of mine always telling me that something that sticks to my head was, you're not ready. You're not ready. And something that I'm very competitive.
Yes,
like,
you are.
I'm a competitor. It comes in my nature. It doesn't matter if business, if it's golf, and especially soccer.
Now that you touch golf, and then we'll go back to soccer, I remember I used to kick your ass in golf all the time.
And I took it personally.
And you took it personally, and now I'm sure I haven't played in a while. And now
you would take my money, but now when I got better, you don't want to bet no more.
It's not that I don't want to bet no more. It's just that I haven't had the time to actually go golfing.
Yeah, so.
But I've seen you develop into a great golfer. That shows your competitive side. Let's go back to our soccer conversation. So that's how we met. I think just from playing soccer and hanging out, we just became good friends. And then we got to the partying industry. Then obviously I used to come to your first bar a lot because it was like one of the hot spots in town. And then obviously this is history. I branched out to, being a bar manager, etc. And that's how art kept going throughout the years. And I just wanted to make that throw that out there so that people kind of know how we met, because I don't want them to, we just met through like the nightlife or something like that.
To put it on camera, who do you think was the better lefty?
Both of us? Yeah. You did things right. You did certain things right. I did other things right. I'll say it on camera. I think I was a little bit better than us. It's okay.
You were a better PK shooter.
I'm always going to be a better PK shooter because I have ice in the veins. But yeah, so now everybody's on camera, and I'll admit it.
I didn't know I used to play soccer.
Edwin was a little bit better than me in soccer. Yeah, my staff didn't know that you were a soccer player. I had no idea you had played soccer. But you were a little bit better lefty than I was, and that's okay. Okay, I mean, I'm somebody's better than I have no problem beating you because I saw you grow up playing, how you got better year as you got older. You accomplished a lot of things in soccer, in which we could leave that for another episode, because if we sit here and we talk about your soccer career, we'll be here for 2 hours talking about your soccer career.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, like I said, like I'm the command and that friend knows who he is. He always tell me, you're not ready, you're not ready, you're not ready. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be the next time. Went to high school, Carmel. That coach, give all the credit because I didn't even know what plyometrics was, and that's where he like would make me go to the gym at 6 a.m. box jumps, this and that. When I came back to play after season at the indoor, that guy was like, "Damn, bro, like you're ready and more than ready because I just like got fast."
You got fast, and you took on a fun. Who knows you and know us will know. I used to think it was funny when we would play each other, or when we played on the same team. I remember it was funny because everybody would always say, Edwin's going left, Edwin's going left, Edwin's going left. And Edwin would come and score. And I thought that was hilarious when I was on your team. When we played against each other, I'm like, dude, we're telling you he's going left. And you would always go left and still do it anyway.
Yeah, I remember if one game sticks to mind, you started your whole team was like, I fucking told you guys in the locker room he's going left. And I would laugh. I would honestly laugh. And it's just like, you might agree or not, but I always think that like lefties have a different kind of shiftiness in the game because the defenders probably aren't used to going to the right side since we're going to their right. I don't know. Like, look at Messi. Like, literally look.
No, that's a proven fact. The lefties have a little bit of advantage because that's why they're called the golden lefties. Because not a lot of people are left footers in soccer. So if you know about soccer, you know left footers, and you can debate me all day. We can debate this on another day when we have a soccer episode. But lefties are the golden people in soccer because, like you said, we have it. I think we do have an advantage because we can go right or we can go left, just because of how defenders are taught how to defend. But we can take that on another episode. Just to wrap it up today, one day when everything is said and done, what's one thing that you wish people remember you for? All right, just to wrap things up, I have one last question for you. When people tell your story one day down the line, what's one thing that you hope they don't leave out?
That I was a better lefty than Torito.
I don't think they're gonna remember that 20 years from now.
Nah, besides, like, we already talked soccer. Like, soccer was a very important in my life. Like, I dedicated myself to it. I did, all my were good, but at the end of the day, now that I'm older, that's a chapter in my past. Just that I was a good family man, that I was a good dad, that I cared about them, provided the community. But most importantly, I believe that I always try to run my business the right way, Because you know here, se tira mierda, que es. I can honestly say I've never done that. Like, if anything, I always try to like give advice to other businesses. And if they ask for advice, like, helped each other out. Hey, I need cups.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah.
Because one day, you're gonna need a favor, I'm gonna need a favor, and that's how I like to move. If something's going on in the city, like, instead of like writing them out, just, if they ask for advice, help them out. But just that, like my dad told me, always run things. If you're gonna do one with the right way, but also move the right way.
Which I agree 100% with you. I think always do things right, move the right way, because you just touched a big point. We never know when we're gonna need it from another person. And I think you and I always had a good relationship when it came down to business, as far as, you know, we were competitors, because let's be honest, we never let that get in between anything that you and I had. We instead helped each other out when we could. I know that you helped me out sometimes. I know sometimes you called me for advice when you were going through stuff, and I always gladly answered and helped you out. And I think that's how it should be. So let's cheer to that. I want to also cheers to thank you for coming on to the podcast. Thank you for allowing me and allowing everybody that's gonna watch this, all the people watch, get to know you as Edwin Lagunas, not as Edwin Cantina. I wanted people to get to know the human side of Edwin Lagunas, the human side you are as a family man, as anything that hadn't to do with a bar scene. I know we do this at a bar because this is.
But here we are.
But here we are at a bar because this is where we probably both feel comfortable. But I do want to say thank you for coming on, and cheers to that, and cheers to more years of success to your bar, man. Keep doing what you're doing, keep grinding, keep doing what you're doing, and I know you're gonna be successful. I know you're gonna continue to be successful. So cheers to that, man.
Cheers to that. And part 2, you're gonna be at my golf outing, right?
That's the plan. That's the plan.
All right, so we'll see this amazing team. Thank you guys, professional as fuck, by the way. So cheers to them. And yeah, thank you for having me. I didn't remember I told you. To be honest, I was like, bro, I feel like I didn't podcast because they already know my story. But you did, and they came up with different questions aside that, because I'm not just a bar owner. So thank you for that. And yeah, thank you guys so much.
And that's what Rito is about, guys. It's about getting to know the people behind the scenes. This is real conversations. This is real life stories. It's not script. It's not nothing. It's all real. That's what we're trying to do. And that's why I want to say that's where the city comes and talks here. So thank you, guys. Until next time. Hey, guys, that's a wrap for episode 2. I want to take a minute to thank everybody for watching episode 1. Please continue to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It was a pleasure. Again, thank you all to everybody that's supporting us. See you next time on the next episode. Please subscribe, hit that little button and subscribe. All right? Until next time, love you.